Hi Tugba, this is Michael Buckoff from BetterTOEFLScores.com, home of the 7-step system to pass a TOEFL test. So you are one of my online students. Since you are a paying subscriber, I'm going to read, evaluate, and score your independent writing tasks. So your question here, how does advertising influence people's behavior? Use reasons and specific examples to support your answer. Now, like I did last time, let's take a look at your essay. I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste it. And let's take a look at the thesis and the topic sentences in your conclusion to check the organization. So your thesis says, as far as I'm concerned, some of them, relevant technology, science, and charity, is utilized to be kept updated, whereas other kinds of advertisements related to food, clothes, and drugs have negative effects on certain people. Okay, so you have a thesis. So it looks like you have positive and a negative view on advertising. So you can have a mixed bag. So then the next paragraph probably is going to talk about the positive aspects of it. So you say initially a group of advertisements can be well accepted because many people want to be aware of technological improvements, development of science, and altruistic philanthropic actions. Then you have your next paragraph, probably negative. Secondly, aside from the beneficial effects of advertising, unfortunately, there are many of them are exploited to affect certain population in an undesired way. To sum up, advertisements can have both detrimental and benevolent repercussions upon a society, but the most striking point is that the good aspects of advertisement should be taken into account in terms of providing maximum benefit. Alright, so it looks like each of your topic sentences are definitely stating assertions. Each time, looks like you actually have a pretty good organization. Now let's read the essay slower, and as we look at it, I'm going to take a look at one of your paragraphs, and I think this essay, based on the organization, I think it's pretty good. I think grammatically, I think you're going to run into some problems here. So you seem to have a lot of problems with some of your sentence structure, punctuation, word choice, and so on, but let's take a look at a paragraph. Let's go to the second paragraph. I'm going to edit as we go through this exercise so you can see me correct some of your mistakes. So it says initially, a group of advertisements can be well accepted, probably throw a hyphen here, can be well accepted because many people want to be aware of technological improvements. So they want to be aware of technological improvements, development of science, and altruistic actions. I'll probably get rid of this. It looks like you have kind of, or how about this? Maybe throw a comma here. If you consider these ideas as being separate, so they want to be aware of technological improvements, development of science, and altruistic actions. So then we get into the next part. Now, I like that topic sentence because it sets up a discussion of three distinct things. First of all, you talk about technology. Second of all, you talk about development of science. And then third, you talk about altruistic actions. So you have, for instance, nice transition word, individual thinks, I'm going to say about, an individual thinks about buying a new car, but he or she does not know which car has an additional feature being safer than others. Your grammar is getting in the way here. I'm not sure what you're trying to say here. Maybe if you say, which car has safer features than others, maybe? Get rid of that. maybe something like that. But he or she does not know which car has safer features than others. The person can see an advertisement relevant to a car and the safeness of the car, maybe, and the safeness of the car is emphasized in the advertisement. Therefore, he can be aware of such a safe car. On the other hand, being healthy is significantly important for everyone. Through advertisements, a society can recognize the importance of fatal diseases, and thus they can take measures to prevent them. In addition to these, advertisements can be a mediator to make people more conscious about the charity acts. Some people may want to aid, if you say aid too, you might say provide. They might want to provide aid to charity organizations, but they do not know how to reach them. At that point, advertisements can be beneficial for the people as a result of this. I think we got some problems here. Advertisement can be beneficial for the people, maybe, and, comma, as a result of this, by means of advertisements, the people who want to help and others who wait to help can be happy reciprocally. Okay, I think that straightens it out. So at that point, advertisements can be beneficial for the people, and as a result of this, by means of advertisements, the people who want to help and others who wait to help can be happy reciprocally. Okay, the problem, I'm not sure, there are some grammar, I made a few corrections here, but I'm actually more worried about the paragraph having unified organization, because remember you said these key points? They want to be aware of technological improvements, development of science, and altruistic actions. So you need to better connect the rest of the paragraph to those key points A, B, and C. Now, if you don't want to specifically mention those key points, then change the topic sentence, but I don't think that your paragraph is actually unified enough around that topic sentence. So I think that's a problem. The next thing you have here, secondly, aside from the beneficial effects of advertisement, unfortunately, there are many of them. I think I would change this to maybe many of them are exploited to affect certain populations. How about this? You don't have to say all that. Just say, how about undesirably? Get rid of all that. Wait a minute. I hate when that happens. Okay, here we go. So we're just trying to make that a little bit more concise here. So you have they affect populations undesirably. Now it's interesting. In your previous paragraph, you had a very specific topic sentence, mentioning, 3 key ideas, but you didn't really stay focused, or at least explicitly connect the rest of the paragraph to those key points. And it looks like your strategy now is to go more from a broader point of view. So you say, aside from the beneficial effects of advertisements, fortunately, many of them are exploited to affect the population undesirably. These are all made without any responsibility for the people. What do you mean by these? Do you mean these ads? Maybe? These ads are made without any responsibility for the people, because many of them threaten the health of people. How about threaten people's health? Scientifically speaking, advertisements of fast food, sweets, ice cream attract the attention of children, even though their ingredients can harm children's, how about apostrophe S, can harm children's health psychologically and physiologically. I know some friends who want to lose weight, this verb's not going to work. You have saw, but you already have know as a main verb, so you need to have some connector here. How about this? I have some friends who want to lose weight. Maybe again who. I have some friends who want to lose weight who saw some drugs deleterious for their bodies on the internet, and then they use them, how about this? And then when they use them, they suffered because of their adverse effects. Furthermore, advertisements made for clothes can be a money trap, because trap is a singular noun. It can be a money trap for people, especially for women, because they are exhibited to us the ads are exhibited. I'm going to give you ads again because you have women here, and you want to make sure that you're clear what your pronouns refer to. But because the ads are exhibited to us in such a way that if we dress up them, we'll be more respected among others. Now, I don't know how about this? If we wear the dress reflected in the ads, so maybe we'll change it to because the ads are exhibited to us in such a way that if we wear the dress reflected in the ads, comma here, we will be respected more among others. Okay, this is actually a pretty good paragraph. I think this is working pretty well, but I did have to make a few changes there. You have to sum up, advertisements can have both detrimental and benevolent repercussions upon a society. Throw a comma here. But the most striking point is that the good aspects of advertisement should be taken into account in terms of providing maximum benefits. All right, it's good. So how would you score right now? Where would this paper be? So I think overall, I'm looking at it, you have a pretty good organization. I think paragraph 2 could be improved a little bit. You do struggle with some words and some grammar and so on, and I would recommend that, I know that you're one of my stealth students and you have purchased a 7-step system to pass the TOEFL. Go back to the TOEFL grammar lessons. Now, in those lessons, I think it's like TOEFL grammar lesson 3 and 4, I have a link to a website. It's called a writer's reference. And at that website, you can actually practice. You can get some good editing practice that can help you improve your ability to write a little bit better with fewer errors. So again, go to the TOEFL grammar lesson, spend some time on that, work on that a little bit. Pay attention to the lessons that talk about punctuation. And that'll help you understand basic sentence structure a little bit better. Alrighty? Oh, wait a minute. I should give you a score too. So, I don't know, probably, I'm going to say based on some of the errors in the word choice and your sentence structure errors and the paragraph 2, which could have been a little bit better organized in the middle of it, I'm going to say you're not quite 4.0 out of 5. You're probably, again, in the 3s, maybe 3.7 or so out of 5 on this particular writing task, okay?